Hello, everybody. Today we're just going to be talking about like leadership. Um, I'm going to lean more on capitalist. I cannot talk about communism. In leadership. There are people who are labeled themselves as communist, but I've learned a lot about leadership from people who are capitalist. I know there is quite a lot of misunderstanding, misconception, and controversy around leadership within the parameters of capitalism, if I could put it that way. But that's what I'm basically gonna predicate my statement today. Um, Being a leader, it's an enormous privilege, to enable other people to be able to put bread on the table in their families, to be good providers, to be responsible for all needs and necessities for their loved ones, for their families, for their children's offsprings, kids, what's not, and so forth, relatives, people in their cycle, and all of those things. So, leadership, it is one of the most paramount, and it's a prerequisite paramount. It is of paramount that if you are a leader, you should know quite sure very well that if your boat sinks as a leader, like for instance, if I could just make a typical example, hypothetically speaking, let me just say maybe you owning a company where like 50 or 60 people relies on that company. So you must make it a point. You should strive at the level best of your potential to make sure that you do everything so that the boat does not sink. Because if that boat drowns, it drowns with a lot of people. Because those people who are going to be dependent on you, relying on you, those people are like your passengers. It's like you driving the ark, you driving the boat. If you could relate to the story of back in the days of Noah, it's like you owning the boat, you have passengers that relies on you. If you facing some tremendous setbacks, if you experiencing some tumultuous situations in your business or whatever the case you may call it, just bear in mind, and you should be very considerate that there is quite a lot of people who will suffer just simply because your boat is sinking. Make sure that you stand upright, hold your head up. You need to be very strong. You need to be very stoic, if I could put it that way, because you make other people to be able to have ends meet at the end of the day. So it is pretty awesome. We should applaud for those particular individuals. Even though capitalism has been lashed, has been scorned. People are lambasting on it. It is as a consequence of why majority of people are suffering. But I see it in a broader picture. I can understand on the other side of the spectrum, but I'm just gonna predicate my statement on leadership in capitalism. We should applaud for these people, to take the risk in a larger degree, far by extension. Some of them, they abdicated from their highest throne. They were maybe working for municipality as CEOs. Some of them, they were like comfortable in their jobs, but they decide, to leave those seats, to come out of that box and try to work on something for themselves. All of a sudden, that particular thing, it helps a lot of people because now they began to be able to hire other people so that those particular people can rely on them. Like for instance, if I could just make a typical example, hypothetical speaking, if you are an entrepreneur and then you've hired some quite a number of people, let me just say 40 to 50 people who are relying on you, who are dependent on you, who are leaning on you. If it happens by incident that the boat is sinking, it sinks with all of those people because those are passengers. So, as outrageous as it might be to other people like communist and socialist, but I strongly believe that capitalism made a huge impact in humanity badly and goodly. But today I'm just going to talk about the good side of it. And I'm quite sure that you've got some negative connotations, you've got some cliche things that you could put into place about capitalism. But I'm here to applaud capitalism. It manages, to create robots, artificial intelligence, better society communication. If you could just touch things like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and what's not, and so forth. The list is countless, but I'm here to applaud for these people for their abrasiveness. They were very brave. They were very stoic, cocky. To stand firm with audacity, with boldness. To build this ask. to build this ark. Thank you very much okhulumayo. Uhlala emthini njengenyoni umshana kanzima unogwajobhajwa ikhulula iqilo loqala la khotha emhlanje ibhubesi elizingela lodwa sutha wonke uchitha umcimbi uzojeza. Ashe nsizwa.